I am Vytautas the Great, and this is how Lithuania became one of Europe's largest states. Today, Lithuania has fewer than 3 million people. Most people see it as a small country in Northern Europe. Nothing unusual, nothing powerful. But 600 years ago, Lithuania controlled a territory so vast that it became one of the largest states in Europe. Its land stretched from the Baltic Sea toward the Black Sea. At one point, it covered nearly 1 million square kilometers. So how did a country that many people struggle to find on a map become one of medieval Europe's giants? And what happened to all that power? Let's find out. When people think about powerful medieval nations, they usually imagine England, France, or maybe the Holy Roman Empire. Very few people think about Lithuania, but that's because most people only know modern Lithuania. The Lithuania of the Middle Ages was something entirely different. It was the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, a state that would grow faster than almost any other power in Eastern Europe, and for a time, it seemed unstoppable. The story begins in the 13th century, at a time when much of Eastern Europe was divided into smaller territories and principalities. Lithuanian rulers saw an opportunity. Through military victories, political alliances, and strategic leadership, they began expanding their influence. Year after year, Lithuania grew larger and larger. Eventually, its territory stretched across lands that are now Belarus, Ukraine, and parts of Russia. What started as a small Baltic state transformed into a massive European power. By the 15th century, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania had become one of the largest countries on the continent. And perhaps the most surprising part? It achieved this while ruling people from many different cultures, languages, and religions. For the medieval world, that was highly unusual. Then came one of the most important moments in Lithuanian history. The year was 1410. A powerful military order known as the Teutonic Knights had spent decades fighting its neighbors. Many believed they were nearly unstoppable. But on July 15, 1410, everything changed. Near the village of Grunwald, one of the largest battles of medieval Europe began. Thousands upon thousands of soldiers filled the battlefield. The outcome would shape the future of the region. Lithuanian and Polish forces fought side by side against the Teutonic Order. After hours of brutal combat, the Teutonic Knights suffered a devastating defeat. The victory shocked Europe, and it cemented Lithuania's position as one of the most influential powers in Eastern Europe. For many historians, it remains one of the greatest military victories in Lithuanian history. Following this victory, Lithuania entered its golden age. Trade expanded, cities grew. Its rulers became some of the most powerful figures in the region. For generations, the Grand Duchy played a major role in European politics. Its influence stretched across vast territories, and for a while, few could have imagined its decline. But history has a way of changing quickly. Over the centuries, Europe transformed. New powers emerged. Wars reshaped borders. Political alliances shifted. Lithuania formed an increasingly close union with Poland. While this brought stability in some ways, it also changed the balance of power. Then came invasions, conflicts, and growing pressure from neighboring empires. Gradually, the enormous state began losing territory. The giant that once dominated Eastern Europe slowly shrank, until eventually, the Grand Duchy disappeared from the map entirely. What remained would later become modern Lithuania, a much smaller nation, but one that never lost its identity. Here's what makes the story remarkable. Many people around the world have heard about the British Empire, the Roman Empire, or the Vikings, but few realize that medieval Lithuania was once among Europe's largest and most influential states. It's one of history's forgotten giants, a country whose achievements are often overlooked outside its region. Yet its impact can still be seen across Eastern Europe today. So the next time someone tells you Lithuania is a small country, they're right. Today it is. But history tells a very different story. A story of expansion, power, victory, and one of the largest states Europe had ever seen. For a brief moment in history, Lithuania wasn't just another country on the map. It was one of Europe's true giants. And surprisingly, much of the world has forgotten that fact. Now you know. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more fascinating stories that most people have never heard before.